All right, thanks, guys. Happy Friday to you. The Avalanche take on the Golden Knights, 6 o'clock Eastern puck drop in Sin City. The Golden Knights are minus 160, total 6.5. No movement on the total as of yet. We did see a 20-cent move toward Vegas in the early wagering. The Golden Knights open $1.40 up to 160, total 6.5. 52% of the consensus are leaning toward Colorado. 54% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Avalanche are, I have them written down as plus 140. That is incorrect. They're plus 120 on the money line. Golden Knights plus $1.55, laying the goal and a half. We have Phil Grubauer for the Avalanche, Marc-Andre Fleury for the Golden Knights. Now, Phil Grubauer for the Avalanche comes into this game with a 2.82 goals against average. The Golden Knights on the other side, 27th in shots allowed, 16th in goals allowed at home. Colorado 7-1-1 on the year, first place in the Central Division. They have 15 points when it comes to that stat column, the standings, and they are 2 points ahead of Nashville in the division. Now, Colorado's first in scoring, 9th in goals allowed. When it comes to the number, Colorado 5-3-1 to the over on the year. Vegas 3-2 to the over at home. I'm going to lean Avalanche plus 1.5 and the over 6.5 in that game. Next matchup, Sharks, Maple Leafs, 7 o'clock Toronto. Toronto's minus 170, total 6.5. We saw a 10-cent move toward Toronto. No movement on the total as of yet. The Maple Leafs open 160 up to 170, total 6.5. 71% of the consensus are leaning toward Toronto. 77% shaded toward the over. Right now, San Jose is plus 150 on the money line. Toronto plus $1.35, laying the goal and a half. We have Freddie Anderson projected for Toronto. Martin Jones projected for San Jose. Now, Marty Jones comes into this game with just a 2-4 record, 3.46 goals against, and an 8.94 save percentage. Now, Freddie Anderson on the other side, a little bit different story. He's 5-2 on the year, 3.19 goals against, 9.01 save percentage. Toronto's 6th in scoring, 9th in shots. They're also 15-4 straight up in their last 19, taking on the Pacific Division, if you're into historical trends. Now, San Jose on the other side, they are second to last in the Pacific Division, just 4-5-1 on the year, 9 points. San Jose is also 22nd in scoring, 28th in goals allowed on the road. And when it comes to the total, Toronto's 5-1 at the under in their last 6, taking on the Western Conference. San Jose is 6-4 to the under in their last 10, taking on Toronto. I'm going to lean toward the heavy favorite in this one. Give me the Maple Leafs minus 170. And the under 6.5 in that game. Next matchup, Coyotes, Devils, 7 o'clock, New Jersey. The Devils are minus 130, totals 5.5. Saw a nickel move toward New Jersey in the early wagering. The Devils open $1.25 up to 130, totals 5.5. 57% are leaning Arizona, 79% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Coyotes are plus 110 on the money line. The Devils plus $1.95, laying the goal and a half. We have Ranta for Arizona, Blackwood for the Devils. Blackwood comes into this game with a 3.15 goals against average. He's also got an 8.86 save percentage. Kind of lackluster in both categories there. Now, Ranta on the other side for Arizona, just a 2.44 goals against average, 9.26 save percentage. And when it comes to this Devils team, they are in last place in the Metro Division, just 2-4-2 on the year, 6 points. That is it. That's all they have. Jersey, 28th in scoring, last in goals allowed. Arizona on the other side, 4-1 straight up in their last 5. First in goals allowed, 5th in offensive shots on the road. When it comes to the total, New Jersey is 5-3 to the over for the year, 80% to the over at the Prudential Center. I'm going to lean Arizona plus 110 and the over. 5.5 goals in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Friday's NHL action. Happy Friday, guys. The weekend is finally here. But before we go ahead and dive into some more free lines and personal leans, I just want to remind you quickly to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. We do daily plays on that website. We also have a bunch of different tiers, memberships, and packages that you can subscribe to. beginning at just $1.99 per month. These are my premium plays that I play myself. You can also access my current record right on the homepage. Link for that site is in the description section below. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, guys, we're going to go ahead and dive into some more free lines of personal leans right here on YouTube. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got the Islanders taking on the Senators, and that's going to be a 7:30 Eastern puck drop in Ottawa. The Islanders are minus 120 on the road, total at 6. We're seeing a 15-cent fade of the Islanders. No movement on the total as of yet. New York open $1.35 down to 120, totals at 6. 55% are leaning New York, 79% shaded toward the under. The Senators are catching even money on the money line. The Islanders plus 230, laying the goal and a half. We have Thomas Greiss for the Islanders, Anders Nilsson for the Senators. Nilsson just 1-2 on the year. Meanwhile, Thomas Greiss on the other side, 3-1 on the year, 2-2-1 goals against, .930 save percentage. Ottawa's last in the Atlantic Division, 2-6-1 on the year, just 5 points. That is it. They're 12 points behind of Buffalo for first place in that division. Ottawa's also 26th in scoring, 30th in shots allowed. Now, New York on the other side, 7-3 in their last 10, taking on the Senators. They're also 5-0 straight up in their last 5. Third place in the Metro Division at 6-3, and they have 12 points on the year, 5 points behind Washington for first place. Now, total-wise, New York is 6-3 to the under for the year. I'm going to lean Islanders minus 120 and the under 6 goals in that game. Next matchup, Sabres, Red Wings, 7:30 Detroit. Buffalo's minus 115, total at 6. We actually saw a nickel fade of Buffalo after last night's loss. A little bit of a recency bias probably there. Once again, Buffalo opened $1.20 down to 115, totals at 6. 68% are leaning Buffalo, 59% leaning toward the under. Right now, Detroit is catching even money on the money line. We have Jimmy Howard for the Red Wings, Linus Ullmark for Buffalo. Ullmark's 2-1 on the year with a .318 goals against and a .913 save percentage. Jimmy Howard on the other side for Detroit, just 1-4 on the year, .388 goals against, .898 save percentage. Detroit is second to last in the Atlantic Division, 3-7 straight up for the year, 6 points. That is it. Detroit's also just 1-3 straight up at home, 1-5 straight up in their last 6 at home, hosting Buffalo. Detroit is 30th in scoring, 30th in goals allowed. Now, Buffalo on the other side, they are 3rd in scoring, 5th in goals allowed. When it comes to the total, Buffalo is 7-4 to the over, 67% to the over on the road. Meanwhile, Detroit 75% to the over at home. I'm going to lean Buffalo minus 115 in the over 6 goals in that game. And we're going to go ahead and slide into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Capitals, Canucks, 10 o'clock Vancouver. The Canucks are 115, total 6.5. Not a whole lot of movement on this money line. Pretty good two-way action there. We did see movement upward on the total. Vancouver, once again, minus 115, total open 6, up to 6.5. 54% are leaning Vancouver, 51% shaded toward the under. Right now, Washington is minus 102 on the money line. Vancouver plus 225, laying the goal and a half. We have Jake Markstrom for Vancouver, Ilya Samsonov for the Caps. Now, both goalies have been excellent this year. Let's take a look at Samsonov, though, real quick for the Caps. He's 3-1 on the year, 1.84 goals against, and a .933 save percentage. Washington, pretty good on the road this year, 5-1-1 when traveling. They're in first place in the Metro Division at 17 points, and they are 4 points ahead of Carolina in that division. Washington, 4th in road scoring, 6th in shots allowed. Now, Vancouver on the other side, losers in 7 out of their last 10 head-to-head matchups with Washington. They rank dead last in offensive shots at home, 20th in shots allowed at home. When it comes to the total, Washington is 8-4 to the over for the year, 4-3 to the over away from home. I'm going to lean Capitals minus 102 and the over 6.5 in that game. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into our shout-outs brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage. Shout out to Trevor123, who changed his name. I think it was Trevor K the past couple of days. But anyway, shout out to Trevor123, Daniel Mendez, McGillis Marketing, Bears All Day, Tony Touch TV, Eric Card, Joe Delatorre from Brazil, Ulysses Hayes from New Jersey. Shout out to JJ Maxwell, Vinny Smooth, Gawang Dakpa from India. Shout out to Sal Contreras, Almighty Addo TV. Shout out to Martinez Tiskus Evil Dax, Jake Bobby 305. Shout out to Daniel Thal, Vlone Zav, J Money, 201 Lifestyle, and last but certainly not least, shout out to Munchy Crunchy. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where we do premium plays on that website. They are my personal plays. Right here on YouTube, I cap the entire slate, which is completely unreasonable. The Patreon site is what I'm actually playing. Those are premium plays. We have a bunch of different memberships and packages, starting at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. Link for that site is in the description section below. And if you want to access my current record, it's right on the homepage. You don't have to sign up for anything. You can just check that out right now. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. Link for that site is in the description section below. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for tuning in right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this free content, all this great free information. Happy Friday to you. Best of luck to you. And don't forget to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.